Today's episode of Aura's Gist is titled, A Master Has Failed More Times Than a Beginner Has Ever Tried. What my most embarrassing moments taught me about resilience and growth. A few days ago, I found myself replaying some of my past failures. You know, those moments that make you cringe even years later. Some are too embarrassing to share here, but I'll let you in on a few highlights. When I was 14, I volunteered to lead a group at a summer camp. It felt like a big deal at the time, but my group came second from the back. We narrowly avoided last place. There was a time I joined a charity I deeply believed in, only to step down because life got overwhelming. I felt like I was letting everybody else down. There were the jobs I lost in my early career, whether fired or made redundant. Each one felt like a punch to the gut. Singing at a university talent show and discovering later that the person recording my performance added unsolicited snarky comments like, "She's singing too fast." The many projects I started and not quite finished. And then there was moving to Brazil for a semester and at some point ending up walking 30 minutes under São Paulo's scorching sun because I couldn't communicate well enough with the bus driver in Portuguese to ask a very simple question. Each of these moments stung. Some still do. Even as I typed this, I felt the heat of secondhand embarrassment creeping in. Reflecting on these moments tempted me to throw myself a pity party. The theme? Why can't I ever get things right? The playlist will feature my greatest hits of almost and not quite, and I'd invite all my self-doubts to the dance floor. But then I remembered a quote that brought my pity party plans to a screeching halt. A master has failed more times than a beginner has tried. That simple sentence flipped the script. What if these failures weren't proof of my shortcomings, but evidence of my growth? As I revisited those memories with fresh eyes, I saw them differently. Let me explain. Number one, the summer camp leader who nearly came last. At 14, most group leaders were older, 16 to 21 years old. The fact that I even volunteered was unusual, and while we didn't win, our group bonded in ways that others didn't. Everyone felt heard and seen, and we had a great time. Fun fact, many of us still keep in touch till today. Nobody remembers our rank, but the friendships endure. 2. The charity chapter that closed early. Even though I had to step away, I contributed in meaningful ways while I was there. I used my skills to amplify the cause and helped bring in new supporters. That experience also taught me a lot about running a registered charity, lessons I've carried forward to today. Sometimes it's not about how long you stay, but what you do while you're there. 3. The early career setbacks. Getting fired felt awful, especially when foul play was involved. But looking back, I realized it was God's mercy at work, though I couldn't see it at the time. Each dismissal was a turning point that propelled me to better opportunities. My income increased with each new role. I had exposure to different kinds of people in the workplace, which built my tolerance, understanding, and my ability to manage different personalities at work and outside of work. It wasn't fun, but it was formative. Number 4, the nervous singer on stage. Singing at that talent show wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I realized that while I'd encouraged friends to take risks, I hadn't done the same for myself. That was my last opportunity to do so as an undergraduate. It was nerve-wracking, yes, but it was also empowering. Every stage experience since then has felt easier because I dared to try. 5. The unfinished projects. Not every project needs to be completed. Some teach you skills or serve as stepping stones. Others reveal what you're truly passionate about. I've learned to finish what matters and let go of what doesn't serve me anymore. 6. The São Paulo sunburn. Traveling to Brazil alone was an adventure in itself. It was my first time there. I didn't know anyone, but I navigated a new country, learned more than enough Portuguese to get by, and gained invaluable lessons in resilience. I also started great friendships that I still nurture till today. That sweltering walk? Well, it made me learn how to ask bus drivers the questions I needed to avoid similar situations in future. These experiences remind me that failure isn't a dead end, it's a detour. Each stumble has helped me build resilience, sharpen skills, and grow in ways I couldn't have anticipated. I'm far from being a master, but I'm no longer a beginner either. So, the next time you're tempted to beat yourself up over a misstep, remember this. Every master or expert was once in your shoes. The only difference is that they kept trying. Keep going. Every attempt, every stumble, every cringe-worthy moment is a step closer to mastery. By the way, there's a book I recommend of someone who made a similar realization when reflecting on the failures of his life. It was by Scott Adams. It's called How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. Kind of the story of my life. If you check it out, there's a link in the description. So tell me, what's your take on this? Do you take things on even if there's a risk of failing? Are there things you failed at but learned a lot from the process? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'll catch you in the next episode. This has been an episode of RS Gist. If you'd like to hear more from me like this, you can subscribe to my Substack blog. It's rsgist.substack.com, and I'll see you there. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. In the meantime, check out the other episode that's going to appear on this side of your screen. The last episode was The Russians Used a Pencil. I think you might find that one particularly encouraging and interesting. All right, I'll catch you later.